What's up guys, JNO here and welcome today to another episode of the Game Week 37 preview for FPL. What's up guys, JNO here and welcome to JNO United. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and remember, it's all about the game. Now I am filming this show, and to be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm actually going to do with this green screen right now. So I could be in a new studio, I could just have a blank background behind me, I could have some nice things to the side of me. I have no idea yet. So enjoy the show, whatever I do manage to do with this. And if it is out Friday, that is because it's taken me longer to edit than it usually would, because I am trying something new. What might happen is you might just get the usual layout with the green screen behind me, as you did with the Game Week 36 review. But let's take this thing for a spin. But before we get into the show, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new, and let's have a look at Game Week 37. Okay, so you can now see my team for Game Week 37 as it stands. I do have a transfer to make, and I'll probably take 1 point hit, but that should be all. So a maximum of 2 transfers, probably for double game week players. But as it stands at the moment, my team is Mignolet, Van Aanholt, Creswell, Robert Huth, Sanchez, Özil, Lanzini, Mahrez, Rashford, Kane and Aguero. Now a lot happened in Game Week 36, so Tottenham can no longer win the league, Leicester have won the league. That may affect the Leicester players' performance from now on. Tottenham should still hold on to second, but they have to get a couple of wins just to make sure of that. Probably only 1 win, make sure of that. I haven't really looked at the table recently, but currently I only have 5 double game week players, being Mignolet, Creswell, Van Aanholt, Rashford and Lanzini. So I'll definitely be bringing in Payet. I think West Ham will have a very good game week. I would kind of like to bring in Andy Carroll though as well, but I've kind of painted myself into a corner by bringing in Lanzini, and I think Payet is the one to go with, as everyone is going to be captaining Dimitri Payet, and I reckon a lot of people will be triple captaining him. So I think I have to go the Payet route, which means my other transfer will be probably a Man United player, but I'm not too sure who it will be. But we shall see. Might even be a Sunderland player, Jermaine Defoe, and hope Jermaine Defoe tries to fire Sunderland to safety. If we have a look at the very long fixture list in Game Week 37, we can see a couple of fixtures that just jump out at you. Man United on the road to Carrow Road looks like a fixture that they should get a result in. Aston Villa Newcastle will be wanting to pick up a win here. Townsend looks like the best bet in that game. Sunderland are on the road to Chelsea. Eden Hazard has come back into form, so it might be risky not having him in your side if enough people bring him in. Big game is Man City versus Arsenal, the 2 teams in 3rd and 4th. They both want to get wins to cement themselves in next year's Champions League, seeing as Manchester City went out to Real Madrid tonight. Meanwhile, West Ham will be chasing that pack along with Man United, hoping to snatch a Champions League place. So Man United double game week, they need to get 2 victories, as do West Ham. So my money is on those 2 teams to get some points in, which makes that West Ham Man United game a massive game at the Boleyn. And I believe it's the last game at the Boleyn ever for West Ham, so they'll definitely be doing their best to get a victory there, which is why I feel like you need 3 West Ham players. And then Norwich versus Watford. If Norwich manage to get a win in their first game, they'll definitely be fighting to get that victory against Watford. And now on the screen you can see my Premier Punt Challenge the Pundits team for FPL updates. I write an article for them every week, so go to FPL updates and check that out. And if you have my Twitter, you will see a tweet relating to that article, so you can read it. These are the players I'm going for in Game Week 37. This is only the first fixture though. Premier Punt only does 1 fixture per team, so you don't get double game weeks in Premier Punt. We're going with David De Gea in goal, with Christian Fuchs, Chris Smalling and Aaron Cresswell in defence. Eden Hazard, Sadio Mane, Andros Townsend and Dimitri Payet make up the 4-man midfield, with a very different strike force of Jermaine Defoe, Andy Carroll and Anthony Martial. Remember, in the link down below you will be able to find a link to join Premier Punt, and then you can be part of the Challenge the Pundits League. It's only a £1 entry and you can win yourself some money. And finally, we're going to go on to the 4 players I think you need to consider having for the double game week, because if you don't, it could really hurt your rankings. These are all players with 2 fixtures, and here are some of the stats to why I think you should pick them. We're going to start with a goalkeeper, and it's Herrero Gomez. In the last 4 game weeks, he's played 4 out of 4 games. He's conceded 6, but he has 1 clean sheet, and he got a great haul in the last double game week because of the amount of saves he made. And in the last 4 game weeks, he's made 14 saves. Now, the fixture against Norwich might mean he doesn't make as many saves, but I think he's a cheap goalkeeper that could definitely get you points if you're using your bench boost. In defence, we're going to go with Aaron Cresswell. West Ham are hopefully going to pick up some clean sheets, but it's also Aaron Cresswell's attacking potential that I'm looking at here. In the last 4 games, he's conceded 6 goals as a defender, but he's got 1 clean sheet amongst those. He's got 1 goal and 1 assist, which is great for a defender, and he's got the capability of getting more than that in 2 games. Attempts on goal, he's had 4, 2 of which have come from inside the box. Shots on target, he's had 2, and he's created 5 chances as well. In midfield, we're going with someone I've completely ignored for most of the season because of his terrible form, but we're going with Eden Hazard. He actually hasn't played many games recently. I think he's had an injury or he's just been benched because of his bad form. I don't really know why he's not played that many games, but when he has played, he started 1 game and came on in the other. He's scored 3 goals with a minute per goal ratio of 49.3 minutes for every goal. Goal attempts, he's had 6, 4 of which have come from inside the box, and he's had 4 shots on target. Now, if he gets anything near that in the double game week and you don't have him, the people that do have him that are just behind you are going to leapfrog you, which is why I think it might be dangerous not to have Eden Hazard. And then finally up front, we're looking at Andy Carroll, the big man at West Ham. In the last 4 games, he's scored 5 goals. His goal involvement ratio is 54.5%. That means he gets an assist or a goal in that percentage of the goals that West Ham score. He's had 16 attempts on goal, 15 of which have come from inside the box, which is a massive amount inside the box. And I think I'm talking myself into bringing in Andy Carroll. On target, he's had 8 attempts on target. Minutes per attempt is 20.4 minutes. And chances created, he's created 6. So if you don't have Andy Carroll and he does well this double game week, you could be regretting your decision. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I can do something really cool with this green screen and the light. I've been JNO, you've been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game.